St. Francis said, start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and soon you'll be doing the impossible. That really encouraged me to keep pursuing this vision of starting the Young Franciscans. I took over St. Saviour's as priest in charge 4 years ago. When I first came here, it was quite a common kind of scenario. It was 2 years of interregnum, struggling parish, single service, Anglo-Catholic style, with about 12 to 15 people attending on a Sunday. I had a conversation with a Franciscan tertiary about creating something for young people which helped them develop prayer life. It brought in the ancient rhythms of grace and prayer from our church history fathers, and how we could set that up for young people. And that was just the first steps of what is now Young Franciscans. It initially formed as a dispersed group. I had 9 people from day one who I basically said, I'm thinking about starting this thing. Do you want to join? And everyone I asked said yes. We developed what we call a rule of life. We based it on 10 principles. And we started to meet up once a month, pray together, eat together, share our journey, and share our rules of life.
Well, at the moment I'm a mum of small children, which is wonderful, but it means Sunday mornings can be a bit crazy and a bit less spiritual. The Young Franciscans is, it does make you take ownership of your own spiritual journey, and it makes you go, what do I want to commit to and how do I do that?
I always wanted it to be two, dispersed and residential. And the residential aspect of Young Franciscans developed this last year. And we've had 3 people living in a house next door to me who have more of a structured rhythm of prayer in a Franciscan spirituality.
I've been involved for the last year in giving some guidance to and acting as a mentor to this community of young Franciscans, trying to help them to discover the significance and the relevance of the message of Francis and the life of Francis to their life today in the city. This year, as Young Franciscans, is helping them to go deeper in their faith, to equip them with a discipline of prayer, but a discipline of life together with other people, and a discipline of living simply in the world today, which is so important in the crazy financial, economic and social world in which we're living.
I joined the Young Franciscans about a year ago now. I really wanted to push into prayer, to let prayer sort of guide me in my work. So I work as a GP, which can be quite intense. And I also wanted to grow closer to people in a house, rather than I'd live with housemates, but I wanted to go a bit deeper, to kind of experience more of a family life and a deeper relationship with my housemates.
Different people come and live together, and at first it's wonderful, and then we start discovering we don't get on all that easily together with each other. We fall out, we have difficulties. The challenge is working through that to come out to the point at which we learn that we are committed to each other. We discover the reason is love, and that love is what God gives us. One of the purposes and reasons why we have religious communities is to be these places where we learn to experience God's love, and we learn how to share that in the world.
It's been challenging, it's been inspiring, and yeah, I've learned a lot more about myself this year than I think I have done throughout my Christian journey.
There was a lot of work to do, to be honest, and it took a lot of time to sort of learn who each other were, what we're going to do, what sort of expectations we have. But we sort of learned a lot about ourselves in the process, about each other, and we ended up just fitting into this rhythm of life together, and it feels more like a family than anything else. It doesn't feel like it's sort of a house share as you traditionally have. We feel like we've actually connected in a deeper way, and we understand each other a little bit more than we would if we're in another context.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has 3 initiatives, and one of them is the renewal of prayer and religious life. That prayer and religious life, religious community life, are actually things that go together. This is what the challenge that the Archbishop of Canterbury has put out for the whole Anglican Communion.
I found this house hugely important in terms of understanding my call to being a missionary in London. It's essentially led to me training with this Centre for Church Planting and Growth on something called the School of Pioneers, and it's also led me into a couple of prisons. And actually I think the extent to which I'm certain about that call wouldn't have been half of what it is without this community.
Well, I'm currently discerning a call to ordination with the Church of England. So we'll see how far along I am by the end of next September.
I've gone from living quite an independent life to living with 2 other guys and cooking together, cleaning together, shopping together and praying together. I suppose you've got to know each other on a deeper level, which has been a bit tough at times, but actually rewarding because someone knows you intimately. Living in community, you've got to be together, whatever. So they see everything.
The same roots, the same stream from which we draw from in the Society of St. Francis, they are finding new and creative ways of living out here in London. So anyone who's interested in Franciscan life, this would be a great place to look.
And we've seen amazing things happen. We've seen the parish blossom. We've seen individuals stepping into vocations. We've seen a house of prayer and hospitality engaging with the parish in new ways that has opened the doors up to amazing opportunities, amazing growth, and just answers to prayer. Our worship life in church has increased, and the community here is blossoming and very special, and everyone who comes into contact with it notices the difference of what it means to be a church community with a heart after prayer. Anyone can do this. You need, I would say, 3 things. You need a bishop, you need a property, and you need a heart for prayer. You have those 3 things. You can look us up, youngfranciscans.org, get in contact, and we can try and help you set up a Young Franciscans house in your diocese.